So, welcome, friends of the planet, and happy holidays. We're doing a special round of interviews to celebrate the end of the year. And today we have with us Dr. Enric Sala, who's an explorer in residence at the National Geographic Society, and he runs the Pristine Seas program. And he's had a big year because he's up for some big awards this year, and he wrote a book, which I'm dying to hear more about. So, Enric, welcome.
Thank you so much, Monica. Great to see you.
It's so great to see you. It's great to be with you. You know, we're such huge fans. You were one of the first friends of the planet, our first partner. We cannot thank you enough for all the ways you support our work. And we're thrilled to be able to talk to you today about what you think are the big wins for you for conservation in 2020. And I imagine you're going to talk about your book. So tell us more.
The big win, I think, is that people have realized that we are all connected on our planet. The pandemic, unfortunately, for the wrong reasons, has provided the best lesson for all of us that we are all connected, right? If we think about the cause of the pandemic, the virus, 98% probable that it came from a horseshoe bat from China. And the virus spilled over humans, and thanks to our globalized lifestyle, it spread like wildfire across the world. It was wildlife trade and destruction of the natural habitats where these animals live that caused the spillover. So it's tampering with nature in one part of the world that has had global consequences, not only loss of human life, but also complete disruption of people's families and social networks and the global economy.
Economies,
So
right.
to me, an unfortunate win has been the hard-learned lesson that we have to change our broken relationship with nature. That's one.
Because it could happen again, right? Like, I mean, this isn't a one-off.
It happened before. Think of MERS, Ebola, HIV. All of these are pandemics that were caused from viruses that spill over from wild animals to us. And another win this year has been the creation of the largest marine protected area in the Atlantic Ocean. Very remote place. I think it's the most remote inhabited island on our planet. You have to take a boat from, there is no airport, it's a small island.
Yeah.
There are several islands, one inhabited with a little town called Edinburgh of the Seven Seas. It takes a week sailing from Cape Town to get there.
A week.
And it's a wonderful place with kelp forest. This is like the redwoods of the sea, seals, elephant seals. So many seabirds, including albatrosses. It's one of these wild places that remain on the world. And the local community are fantastic. They have a sustainable lobster fishery, and they decided that they wanted to protect 90% of the waters around their islands. And that means an area protected that is almost 3 times the size of the UK. It's been really hard. And, for us, for the United States, we had one marine national monument on the Atlantic coast, and Trump removed the protections. So now it's open to fishing. Only 1% of the US mainland waters are highly protected, less than 1%. We know the science is telling us that we need to protect at least 30% by 2030. So another success story is that now we have almost 40 countries around the world supporting this target of 30% of the planet land and sea protected by 2030.
It's such a great goal because it's so easy for people, I think, to visualize. It gives us time to get there. And the US is close in ocean waters, but you're right, not in the continental United States. It's all out in the Pacific in sort of distant waters. And so it will be hopefully a good year for that kind of protection going forward. So tell us about 2021. What do you hope for in 2021?
Probably October 2021, there's going to be this conference of the parties of the UN Convention on Biological Diversity in China. That's going to be the place and the time where the world's countries are going to agree on how much more space we are willing to give to nature. Today, we have 15% of the land and protected areas, a little over 7% of the ocean in areas that have some kind of protection. We need to quadruple the surface of the ocean that is fully protected. We need to double the surface of the land that is protected so we get to that target. And why do we need 30%? Because if we don't protect a third of our planet, that means the collapse of our life support system. It means that 1 million species are going to go extinct. It means that nature will not be able to help us suck in much of that carbon pollution in the atmosphere and help us slow the warming of the planet. So we need help from nature, and we are not helping nature right now. So next year, we hope that one of the big wins is going to be a global international agreement that we need to protect 30% of the planet by 2030. That's what we are working so hard on now.
It's such a great goal. And people don't, I think, understand how important that 30% is, getting to that number, and the connectivity. We can't solve the climate crisis without solving our nature crisis. And so, but if we solve them both together, the win is a double win. So, and the fact that that meeting is in China is really key because it puts the Chinese on the spot, don't you think?
Absolutely. And look, China has already committed to protect 30% of their land. And they have a map. They have done their
Yeah.
analysis and they have a map. They know which areas they want to protect 30% by 2030. So they are halfway there.
Now we just need to get them to make that same commitment for all their overseas activities, for their Belt and Road Initiative. These meetings give us the chance to make those cases, to make that point, and to put them on the spot while they're in the chair. Last question, show us your book.
Oh,
Yes.
this is going to be my holiday gift this year, The Nature of Nature, a book. I was very, very fortunate that His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, wrote a beautiful poetic foreword. And then my friend and hero, E.O. Wilson, one of the top biologists on the planet, wrote a very thoughtful introduction. And yeah, this is my love letter to the planet. Here I explain why we need nature, how 10 million species of plants, animals work together with at least 1 trillion different types of microbes to self-assemble and form these beautiful, wonderful ecosystems that we call forests, wetlands, coral reefs, and why our survival is absolutely dependent on healthy ecosystems. But also I make the economic case, the economic argument that a world with 30% protection actually has a greater economic output and more equity. Especially people in developing countries will benefit more from protection than from degradation of natural systems. And I was able to write one final chapter after the book was ready to go to print. The editor gave me 2 weeks.
Wow.
To write a chapter on the coronavirus. So I was able to write this epilogue on the nature of coronavirus, showing that the cause of the pandemic is our destruction of natural habitats and wildlife trade, and why this is such a great wake-up call for humanity, that there is no COVID crisis and climate crisis and biodiversity crisis. It's all one and the same, and the source of this global crisis is our broken relationship with nature. But we know what we have to do, and we know that the economic benefits are going to be much better if we protect more of our life support system. It sounds like a no-brainer, but you cannot say it.
No.
So I hope that our
It's
friends
such a great book, and
book. Thank you, Monica.
I highly recommend it. It's a wonderful book. And what I loved about it, Enric, is I knew you as this wonderful marine ecologist, this person whose passion was the ocean, but that you took on the whole planet, and all of nature was wonderful. And we really recommend it as a great gift. And we just can't thank you enough, Enric, for all the work you do. You're saving the last wild places in the ocean. It's the greatest project, and we love supporting it. And we look forward to all your successes in 2021. And thank you again. Happy holidays.
Thank you so much, Monica and Miro and your team, because the Daily Planet is my mandatory morning reading every single day, and we will continue supporting you.
Thank you so much. All right. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Monica.